defense team in that big insider trading trial here in New York City is doing its job. It's going on the attack. The lead attorney for Raj Rajaratnam has now spent 2 days trying to do what he's supposed to do, discredit the government's star witness, Anil Kumar. Kumar claims he gave Rajaratnam insider stock tips on several stocks. Back with us this morning, Doug Burns. Doug is a former federal prosecutor who now has his own private practice. There is, Doug, a window of opportunity here. There is some confusion or potential confusion over the timing of certain transactions, payments that Raj Rajaratnam and Galleon made to Anil Kumar. Do you think John Dowd, the lead lawyer for the defense, is taking full advantage and making a strong case to the jury?
Well, the government, wants to keep it real simple, and the defense, of course, wants to make it very convoluted. John Dowd, he painted 3 concepts with a brush under 2 plans, A and B, to break it down. Plan A is to say, look, you're trying to help yourself get a reduced sentence. But as we discussed previously, that's difficult when stuff's on tape. Okay, so you move to Plan B, which is you lied to your partners at McKinsey about getting $2 million from Raj Rajaratnam. So if you could lie then, maybe he's lying now, ladies and gentlemen. But if you break that down, that's going to be met with some heavy sarcasm. Do you really expect them to sit in a conference room and say, hi, McKinsey partners, I just made $2 million giving illegal information to somebody. Let's talk about what we're going to do with the money. Of course he lied. It's a crime, and he pled guilty to it, okay? So that doesn't get you very far. But Plan B is the good one. Plan B is, okay, let's assume I did get all this information. It was already public. It was in the financial media. And I used that myself in a trial in the Southern District building somewhat effectively because a lot of it was in the media.
Right, that's a good point, though. You don't think that discredits Anil Kumar just slightly? Because if it's already out in the public, I mean, the idea of insider information is that this is non-public material information that no one else is aware of.
But I'm smiling because we lawyers, our toolbox is full of words and semantics. That's what we do every single day. And what you find almost universally, Lisa, is a report about something may happen. It's rumored that something is going to happen versus, guys, they shook on it. It's done. Huge difference. I'm not suggesting that that's some kind of global analysis, but by the same token, I think you're going to find that it's certainly relevant on some fronts.
Doug, a lawyer, a judge in a related case involving Rajat Gupta, the former head of McKinsey, former Goldman Sachs board member, raised a very apt question yesterday, one we've been asking here and trying to get answers for, which is, why is it that Rajat Gupta is the target of an administrative proceeding before this particular judge, Judge Jed Rakoff, as opposed to a criminal proceeding like everybody else in the other courtroom?
Well, the trial I mentioned earlier was before Judge Rakoff, so I'm familiar with the judge. And he made a point that we were all thinking about, which is, wait a second, you arrested 40 people, and you're claiming that he specifically tipped Raj Rajaratnam about a $5 billion potential investment by Warren Buffett, of all people on this planet. Why wasn't he arrested? And the SEC lawyer, this was interesting, gave 2 answers that were kind of house answers. 1, that decision was made by those above me, Your Honor. Okay. And 2, under Dodd-Frank, we bring the most appropriate charges. Well, of course, you don't need to cite Dodd-Frank to Judge Rakoff, who, by the way, is not exactly, unwise. He's very smart.
Cases in front of him. We'll read between the lines then for us, if that's the canned, expected response.
Well, don't forget, he's the judge who rejected a big settlement with BOA. Remember that? And sort of tweaked the SEC. So he's not shy about giving his opinion, and I think he just wanted to send a shot across the bow, as it were, about, guys, what's going on. But by the same token, let me be fair. Number one, it's not like they don't want to prosecute him if they could. I mean, you're not going to accuse them of being underzealous prosecutors, right? So you have to sort of deduce, at least the way I look at it, that maybe the case isn't that strong. I don't know.
Doug, we talked about Plan A and Plan B for the defense. What's next? What's Plan C? Where do they go from here? If you were defending this case, what would you do next?
Well, depending on the caliber of the so-called public articles, obviously, I'd get them into evidence, and then I'd be arguing at the end that, ladies and gentlemen, the stuff was already there. I think Plan A is weaker. In other words, given the tapes, I think it's hard to say that he didn't tip them. I mean, it's there, But the fact of the matter is, I'd go with Plan B and say that the stuff was already public, and it didn't give him an unfair advantage over other people.
Doug, thanks so very much for joining us once again here to talk about the Raj Rajaratnam trial. Doug Burns, a former federal prosecutor, now running his own practice.